Yeah, what's the deal, good people? I'm Eric Taylor, back with From Taylor to Astrology. But you know what channel you're on. And thank you for coming to my neck of the woods. Hope you get comfortable and stay here for a while. This video and much more. This is my True Black Moon Lilith through the house series. And this is the True Black Moon Lilith in the 7th house. So break that down, the 7th house, a couple of famous people, but remember, like always I say, I think you're famous, all right? Never forget that. Positive affirmations and self-love over here, you know? Righteousness. So the True Black Moon Lilith, this goes back to the Garden of Eden. Adam and Lilith were made equally by God. Lilith didn't want to submit, wanted to be on top, wanted to be treated equal like Adam. She was rejected, right? This is a repressed rejection, shadow energy, kicked out of the Garden of Eden. Eve made from the rib, yada, yada. Mythology. Who really knows? You weren't there, I wasn't there. Don't know. But the true energy of the True Black Moon Lilith is like a Pluto energy. It's stronger in a woman's chart. It's definitely about the divine feminine, kind of rebelling against the patriarchal system, but it still affects men as well. I found in my research and just experience, the True Black Moon Lilith is definitely stronger on the cardinal cross, the angular houses, 1, 4, 7, and 10, and this is the 7th house. So yeah, it plays a factor. It is your pre-verbal, pre-rational energy, your yes, no response, right? It's pheromones, hormones. It's your intuition, your gut instinct, your root chakra, down below, right? This is how we get the goosebumps and the little, tinge and the tingle and the messages from God and source energy, and we really need to listen to it. The thing with the True Black Moon Lilith, you've got to find your tribe and not expect to face rejection, okay? It's definitely rebellious energy, and yes, it can be very sensual, sexual, but just rebellious to, the patriarchal system, not falling into line. The 7th house, this is relationships, partnerships, marriage, contracts, negotiations, the skills of your first child, the other half, open enemies, the courthouse. This is the marketplace, right? Where you measure your meat and your rice on the scales, right? So when you're shopping, that's the 7th house in astrology, okay? So you also see here, some of these famous people, Selena Gomez, I believe, Demi Lovato, Kourtney Kardashian, I think Jimi Hendrix. I wasn't sure if Madonna and Tom Cruise had this. I wasn't finding definite evidence because, sometimes it's just Libra, not the 7th house. And we're talking about just the 7th house, okay? So those are some interesting people, but basically it's all about you and you watching, okay? So with this energy, if you have this in your chart, the Lilith energy shows up in your partner's chart, your person for business partner, who you do shopping with, negotiate contracts, your relationship, long-term relationship partner, your marriage, right? It affects the other half. So this energy's kind of got a duality where it can affect you and the person that you are shopping with, the person you are purchasing from, the person you're in a long-term relationship with, the person you are married to, okay? It can play out like this. So a lot of women that have this, they tend to, when they're shopping and running their errands and purchasing things, have people kind of come at them sideways. Meaning men and women flirting with them, hitting on them, trying to barter and trade maybe inappropriately, over-sexualize them in like just a supermarket or grocery store. That type of stuff definitely plays out a lot with women in this chart. But men and women, you both can deal with your marital partner cheating on you, having an affair. Also, people offering you third-party affairs, like you, the husband or wife, someone trying to come up to you to say, hey, do you want to have a threesome or a throuple, or, you know, things like that. That can play out a lot as well. I've seen that in a lot of different charts. A lot of times, the key is to find your tribe of people who are kind of really connected to their root chakra, their meditation, and are really about having positive marriages, but that they can find situations where they can honor the sacred masculine and the divine feminine and do it with the groups. Because remember, the Black Moon Lilith is that sonar energy. You always hear me say it, but it's so true. You don't recognize it on yourself. That's why it's hormones and pheromones. Other people sense it on you and smell it on you. And in the angular houses, it's like really strong. They're like, ooh, are you wearing that Lilith perfume or that Lilith cologne? Right? And you're like, what? So, you know, so often you're not going to see this. And you could even have like an enemy, and depending on the sign or whatever, we'll tell you whatever, you know, this could be any sign here: Sag, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Scorpio, Virgo. But these type of people can come up to you as an open enemy, but, you know, trying to disrupt your committed marriage or induce, you know, or seduce, not induce, seduce your husband or your wife and trying to get them to have an affair. But also this could be where people try to take advantage of you when you're purchasing items, you know, by maybe distracting you or flirting with you or, you know, I don't know, trying to even take your credit cards out of your wallet or your debit, you know, your little slip where you hold your debit cards. Weird things like that can play out and happen here. Often the key is to really be instinctual about any business deal and any contract you sign, even a marriage contract. Make sure you are legit honest with yourself and with your other half in terms of what are your ideals? What is it that you instinctually desire in a partnership, in a marriage, right? So that you come together and then merge for the 8th house. Well, in the 7th house, it's the coming together. And there's the negotiation. Well, I want to live in this city. I want to work in this state. I want to have 3 kids. I want to have 2 kids. I don't want any kids. You have to have these honest communications, right? And I talk about this in my Elevators to Marriage relationship coaching program in the 11 floors, okay? 11 weeks, great thing to help people with relationships. And really about increasing your self-love. And with the true Black Moon Lilith, that's a big factor here. You have got to kind of tap in to connect with God, but looking internal and with deep introspection to really know who you are and to find your self-love. So then that way you're not expecting people to cheat on you. I mean, think of like, you know, the quintessential like Kourtney Kardashian, who's had Lamar Odom and Tristan Thompson and these men kind of like, and I'm not saying she's totally innocent because who knows, right? But these guys like cheat on her or have third-party situations, extramarital affairs, or, you know, maybe she was the third party with Lamar and his, you know, original baby's mother. You know, like all that type of dynamic does play out here. And it's, you know, it's a legit strong energy. You can't fake it, especially with the true Black Moon Lilith, you guys. I told you in the angular houses, I mean, I've seen client after client after client, you know, and sometimes it can be, as a child, seeing your parents, okay? Because it's the first marriage or relationship that you get to see. And a lot of times that happens with clients where if they have Chiron or Lilith here, you can see a combination of their parents had someone cheated on someone and had children out of wedlock and had affairs, you know, and then they wind up repeating it themselves, or they learn the behavior from their parents or experienced it growing up in a home with this Lilith archetype, right? If Lilith was conjunct the moon or the sun here, that could really play out with a parent directly, okay? And that conjunction needs to be, from 0 to 10 degrees. You also, when you're really deep into your instincts and your root chakra, you can really make wise choices for deals, marketing, marketplace, the sales, the contracts, things you purchase, and your gut and your root chakra will guide you. I shouldn't partner with this person. They're not really kosher in their business deals. The way that they try to backstab people and this and that, I don't trust them. You know what I mean? You have to listen to that. Really, this guides you. The Lilith is not all negative, you guys. It's actually extremely positive when you don't expect to be rejected, right? Because you have to have the positive mindset and the positive affirmations, because then that energy pours over your life, right? Now, I'm not saying you could be crazy positive and you could still have a spouse cheat on you, because this Lilith energy is in the house of the other half, the descendant. So sometimes you can get blindsided and not even see it coming and have your wife cheat on you or something like that, or your husband cheat on you, and you're like blown away. That can definitely happen with this placement, okay? And just remember, if you go through that, male or female, it's not your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just an energy that's in your chart, and it does manifest, unfortunately, in fruples and third-party affairs and cheating and sometimes just some straight up lies and deception. The key is find your tribe, get in your gut instinct and your root chakra, and really try to have honest conversations about the marital needs of your partner. Because maybe if you do that, it can repress and suppress the need to have affairs and cheat. Okay? Because sometimes honest conversation, and it's hard even in marriages, couples sometimes don't have honest conversations about where they want to live, how they want to act as a couple. Like, okay, you don't go on like a lunch date with someone from the opposite sex. You have to set these rules and boundaries in a relationship to have a healthy relationship. You can't get mad at someone if you've never discussed something and then be like, well, why are you doing that? We're not supposed to do that. Be like, oh, well, we never talked about it. You know what I mean? You've got to communicate. And that's something that I really help you in Synastry Compatibility Charts and my relationship coaching program, okay? So always just reach out to your boy, Eric Taylor, taylor2coaching@gmail.com to order the birth chart, relationship coaching, astrological life coaching, business birth charts. This is an important house for business, the 7th house. And you really want to use your intuition and instincts for that, because it can guide you. Having Lilith here, it can guide you the right way to who is right for you through the hormones and pheromones and your intuition that God is leading you to not do business with and to do business with, who to partner up with, who not to marry. You know what I mean? You got to take the time to really meditate and get into your physical body. This can even help you too. Lilith can definitely be very strong with food as well, okay? Your partner might like to eat nightshades and you don't. Your partner, only eats meat and you're like, well, I'm kind of like fruits and vegetables and fish. And they're just like beef, turkey, chicken, So this is where we have to kind of really be truthful, be honest, and have these important, really kind of deep conversations before you even jump the broom or sign a marital contract, okay? Not everyone that has Lilith in the 7th house is going to get cheated on or have an extramarital affair. I want you to know that. This is not 100% across the board. But if you see this in your chart, you just have to be mindful of it. And then you would go to your partner and have these honest conversations and realize maybe that, you got married at 29 and now you're 43 and you've never really talked about this stuff. Well, maybe you should. Maybe the kids are growing up and, they're 7, 8, or 13, and you're like, wow, our marriage is changing. Maybe I should check in with my wife, check in with my husband, and just make sure that we are being honest about our sexual desires, needs, and wants. Just how we relate to the opposite sex in public when we're not around our partners. It's important, you guys. Okay. The lack of communication can cause a lot of chaos and drama in your life. So make sure that you have the open heart and come from your heart, right? That's the vibration of the human design love. I was just talking about Angela Rose, right? 2027, the prophecy, we go from the solar plexus to the heart, and we've got to communicate from our heart. It's important. I think also here, sometimes people can get overwhelmed when they're not really tapping in and finding their tribe of people, that they can feel kind of mentally distraught in a marriage or feel like a caged bird and trapped. And they can rebel and try to, be self-destructive because they just want a little bit more freedom and honest communication. So instead of acting out, communicate from your heart, get into your root chakra, meditate, even meditate with your other half and figure things out together. That's the best advice I would say, especially with this energy. And really try to go within before you sign any big contracts. This is, the lawyers, the business people, all this stuff going on here. Contracts and negotiations happen all the time for cell phones, insurance, health, life insurance, buying this, purchasing a car, purchasing a home. You want to check in with that Lilith here. It's important to check in, okay? And no fear. Faith over fear. You got to just do that. But you have to be willing to do the work. And astrology is the map of your life, and it can help you. And I can help guide you through astrological life coaching, through a birth chart reading, to kind of help you maneuver through the map of your life so you're not living strife and you honor your husband and your wife. So true black moon Lilith in the 7th house. I'm gonna say a prayer for y'all because it can be challenging, and unfortunately there can definitely be cheating with this placement. So I pray that there's not, but healthy communication and whatever, sometimes you can heal past extramarital affairs and keep your family and marriage together, and sometimes you can't. But knowing this ancient wisdom and knowledge can help you to understand things and to deal with them better and to be prepared, okay? Anything can happen, and those transits that come can activate the Lilith. Uranus comes in here and hits that Lilith, Mars, Sag rising, Mars and Gemini for 7 months. You're like, whoa, this is crazy. My 7th house hitting my natal Lilith, and I can help you figure all that out. So holla at your boy, Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology. Please, join the Patreon. Follow me on the Twitters at Taylor2C and at Big 3 Astrology. They're both growing. I'm really excited about that. Instagram and TikTok, follow me, Taylor2 Astrology. I'm trying to get to over that 800, get to 1,000 on Instagram. I got to do more lives there. But I'm making moves and doing a lot of things. And I hope to see you at Astrological Coffee Talk Saturday, October 15th. And I might touch on 2 topics. Right now, it's looking like a lot of people have voted for Mercury and Venus. So I might look at both of those in terms of my lesson. Because, it's a longer class, 90 minutes over Zoom for only $15. And you book it at taylor2coaching@gmail.com. And looking at charts, showing examples, I might have the time to do 2 planets. So I might discuss Mercury and Venus. I will let you know. Check out Community on YouTube and see, and I'll announce it on Instagram as well. But true black moon Lilith in the 7th house. Adios. Siete's house. Siete's house. Hey, just be real, be honest. Tap into your divine feminine. Okay, sacred masculine, and just stay in your intuition. You're gonna need it. All right, got nothing but love for you. Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology. By Black Moon Lilith. By true Black Moon Lilith in the 7th house. And Astro.com, I'm a Western tropical astrologer using the whole sign system, more ancient, more accurate. And you want to put in on Astro.com in the miscellaneous section, H13, and that gives you the true Black Moon Lilith, not the little Lilith glyph. That can be sometimes a sign or a house away. You want the words, you see the Lil, the Lilith. That's the true Black Moon Lilith, H13, put it in, all right? You'll be happy that you listened to me. Eric Taylor, Taylor to Astrology. Peace.